All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Art Talk. So, today I wanted to talk about chasing money. And the reason I want to bring this up, my friend of mine who I was having a great conversation with the other day, who's a painter and is, very successful in what he does, but shared this quote with me that he came across and told me that, I read this quote. It's by William S. Burroughs, author, playwright, and said, I just feel like this. And even though on the outside you see all this stuff is doing, you realize what's going on internally with inside, and he realizes he needs to change something and do something else. And the quote said this. It says, "What does the money machine eat? It eats youth, spontaneity, life, beauty, and above all, it eats creativity. It eats quality and shits quantity." And in regards to this whole saying, what it's saying is if you're just chasing the money and that's all you're just trying to do is keep getting more money, I just need to keep up, this is what it's taken away from you, and it will eventually take away that creativity. It will start to you're just going to be putting out all that quantity instead of quality, because that's where it's at. It's I just got to do this commission, that commission, and just going all the time. So eventually, even though you know that this is what you want to make a life and a living as an artist, and this is a very important thing in order to achieve and gain, you also got to find that balance. And I think sometimes, to be honest with you, you have to go through that money machine, that what does he call it? Yeah, the money machine. And just you're going through that phase, especially when you're younger. You're just trying to figure it all out and try to find what works and trying to get your name out there and do whatever you can. But then again, you come to that realization, wow, it's not what it's all cracked up to be. And I think in order to understand that, you got to experience it and you almost just got to face it. But I think the most important thing is you got to have awareness of it. And he's not the only person. I've met some other really well-known, famous artists who have said the exact same thing to me, not in those terms, but that was basically what they were saying, and I felt it, and I knew it, and I saw it, because they just have to keep churning out, and especially in the gallery scene, if you want to be an artist in the gallery scene, because all of a sudden you're doing a bunch of gallery shows, and you got to keep providing all this artwork for each one of those gallery shows, and then there's commissions on top of that, and you can just be going on and on and on and on and just completely just wear yourself out. I've seen it happen with comic strip artists where the quality of the work per se just starts to diminish because of just they got to keep churning it out, and this is the sort of stuff that can happen. So what do we have? What do we realize? What do we sort of like learn from this? Is that we want to try to find that thing that does give us that fulfillment, that does give us that joy. We are going to get thrown into work environments and situations, even in the animation industry, where you're just going just to try to produce, and it can take a toll on you. But I think more than anything, why I brought this up today is I just want to bring out the awareness to you and let you understand that not to necessarily, you never get into this just saying, oh, I got to make tons of money, I want to be rich, I want to be famous, and that's why I'm going to draw and do this. It's sort of like a weird thing. I think art is a natural, instinctual aspect of us that we have to get out and we have to put out. Sure, we want to make a living. Sure, we want to make some money at it. But you also got to realize that once you get to that certain level, this is the sort of effect that it's going to happen in your life. So maybe more than anything, I'm just preparing you for what could potentially be coming down the road for you, and just something to think about whenever you're just whatever it is that you're starting. And just research the fields, look into it, talk to people who are in the line of work that you want to get into, try to find out as many answers from them as you can, and just to get a better understanding what's really going to be involved as I'm moving myself into this. Again, I've said many times, nothing's a life sentence unless you commit some horrible crime that puts you in prison or death sentence, whatnot for the rest of your life. But what it is that you can make those decisions to change and go, you know what, I do need to slow it down. I am just going 1,000 miles an hour. I do need to readjust. And maybe you've made your lifestyle to the point where now you've kind of trapped yourself because you've made your lifestyle too exquisite or too costly, and now you got to keep up just to pay all the bills. So that's something just to think about too. So just be wise, choose wisely, do this because you love it, do this because you want to get into it. That's your intention. Know that you may be thrust upon you through high demand of your skill set, where people expect more of you and want more of you, and it's a nice thing to be wanted, but also realize it will take a toll on you, and that's what you really got to look at in your life when that time comes. All right, make it a great day, a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.